Strickland has that hand up. Same left hook that knocked him out in the fight, just joking around. Okay guys, here we go. Strickland versus Pereira. Obviously these guys have fought in the UFC, it going the way of Pereira, but we're back. This is very recent, and they're doing a sparring session. I think it's always cool to look and see what are the best fighters in the world doing in terms of sparring. What kind of intensity are they putting in? Outside of training camp, neither of these guys are training. And one of the early things that we're seeing is Strickland, arms really far out. And you notice in the fight how his hands are much closer. So you have to assume early in he's just trying to gauge and keep himself really safe, because that long guard does help in keeping you feel extra safe. Problem is if you get caught around the side, which is very likely to happen, it's gonna hurt. A little bit of movement here, nice low kick from Pereira.
Good jab.
See in the fight here, this movement. Pereira is just so good at gauging the distance. He backs up constantly and utilizes that to really understand what his opponent is trying to do, as opposed to just, oh, I'm gonna go in there and guess. That's why the start of his fights are sometimes a little slower. It's okay to back up. One of the craziest things about both these fighters really is they do so many things technically incorrect, but both are UFC champions. It's so wild. This little body jab there from Pereira. And just see, back to the fight, the distance, the control that he has. It's really impressive actually for Pereira, the way that he has that ability to understand that distance. I think we're going to touch on that a little bit later in this sparring session. Back at it, you got to admire the respect. Like, they're just tapping, they're not trying to hurt each other. We both know that especially Pereira has that ability to hurt somebody. Look at the size difference between these two dudes. Like, since Pereira's moved up in weight, he looks so much bigger. He used to be at 185 with Strickland, but now he looks so much bigger. Noticeable size advantage. You can see right there, that's the end of this sparring round, but you can see how this size does make a massive difference, and how Strickland is much more cautious than in the fight. Granted, he's not in training camp, but just walking in the fight on Pereira, not too much of a concern. Now having being hurt, but also the size difference, that extra respect a little. Now he's standing his ground, throwing some jabs. As soon as he finishes his jab, he's gonna pause with the right hand out there. A very probing sparring match. They're obviously not engaging too much. There goes Pereira on some kicks. Look at him when he starts mixing it up. Like, glory champion, right? I have a couple glory belts myself, and you can't go in and just be a puncher in that fight sport. And as soon as Pereira started throwing those kicks, you just see that Strickland doesn't really have an answer. It is called kickboxing. And Pereira just putting himself up against the edge of the wall there. Just, it's a good thing to do sometimes. If it doesn't naturally happen to you, you don't always get put and pressured against, you know, the ring ropes or the wall. You just put yourself there. It's definitely a play session. I've seen Strickland and Pereira spar other people, and they don't always go this chill. So it could be the fact that they're out of camp, could be the fact that they fought each other and they have that respect. And they're just like, yeah, we don't need to do this. We already got paid lots of money in the past for it. We talked before about the technique of these two dudes and how it's a little bit unorthodox, like the body jab there and down to the low kick. Let's touch on that. He does the same thing here in the fight. Body jab and then comes with the low kick. You can start picking up signatures, like these signature combinations that people throw, and be ready for them. So if I was fighting Pereira, thank God I'm 4 weight classes below him. Never would have had to worry about fighting him in glory either. But you start going, okay, when he body jabs, there's a good chance he's going to come with the low kick after. You understand that type of stuff. To not do research on an opponent just seems crazy to me. Both their guards are so different than what we normally see. Pereira's just got those hands just loaded up, ready to get massive punch power, and Strickland uses that Philly shell defense so well for MMA. It's just a difficult thing to do. I love the way there that, again, Pereira demonstrated that control of distance that he has. Like, look at him, he takes light shots, but he's very rarely in that range where he's going to take anything substantial. So when you can see he touches Strickland, there's a snap of the head. Pereira understanding distance. If you don't understand distance yet, that's something that you got to train. You have to. It makes such a massive change in where and how you take punches. Again, that jab landing from Pereira, and he just understands the range. He knows he can do damage there. You don't see these two guys in this position too often. They like standing on the outside more so, but it's good practice, good body shot there. They pick it up a little bit at the end here, a little bit more exciting. The shot.
Nice. Give me enough for it.
They're changing that rule, as I understand. No hand to the canvas to protect yourself. All right, we're wrapping it up, guys. Thanks for joining today. Fun to watch these guys play.